This is the Personal Branding Success in 10 Minutes podcast. I am your host, Kaitlin Zhang.
And I am your host, Dannielle Bardowell. Why should I place so much emphasis on partnerships with other brands? Like, shouldn't I try to skyrocket my success, my own, instead of, looking at other people?
That's a really great question. Certainly, there are people who can succeed without others, but I think 99.9% of the successful people I know are benefited from the support and help of others. We're not like in our own worlds. We live in a world where there are other industries, other brands, other partners that we can team up with to make our journey a little bit easier, right? It says that there's a saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with the team.
Right.
So we can all help each other. I think it's completely wasted opportunity to not work with other suitable brands and influencers. It's a win-win situation. There are also financial gains to be made if you're doing a little bit of affiliated marketing. That means partnering up with brands if you're a big enough influencer to have a financial motivation to do that and to also support something you believe in. So I think in terms of your audience, you can also add a lot of value when you bring other brands that they might want to know and want to learn more about that's affiliated with yours. So in general, I'm very, very supportive of partnerships. What are your thoughts on that? Have you seen sort of examples of brands and partnerships that's worked well?
Well, for example, I would say that Emma Watson, I'm kind of a big Harry Potter nerd. So she's Hermione from Harry Potter.
Me too.
But I see that in 2014, she was appointed UN's Goodwill Ambassador. I think it's great for someone, an actress to do something such as partner with an organization like the UN. But with regards to what you just said about, it being a good idea to partner with people, when you really think about it, makes me think you do need people to survive in this world for the most part.
Yeah, for
when
sure.
You're looking to sell something, it's people that buy your products. It's people that help you to get opportunities. So I get what you are saying.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, another way I think about it is you can also really elevate your own brand when you are telling the world the causes that you support. For example, I believe that if a company has a charitable arm or some kind of sustainability mandate that helps them support some causes in their local community or with the climate change, I think that increases a lot of their brand value. Obviously, we're not supporting these causes because we want our brands to really increase in value. That's not the ultimate goal. As I've said with branding, it's always about how do you add value to your audience? How do you add value to the world? So, for example, at Oval Branding, we actually do take on like pro bono charity work for causes that we believe in so that we make sure that we are supporting those causes so that we can give back a little bit to the community. We don't advertise it super much, but I think those partnerships actually bring a lot of value just to me personally without even having to tell the world about it so far. And also other individuals, especially people who have brands that complement yours or brands that are a little bit ahead of yours in your industry.
Yes.
To have a testimonial by somebody who's a little bit more senior in your industry is incredibly valuable for someone in a junior position.
True.
Yeah.
I agree with you with regards to that. But in your opinion, as someone who's looking to start their personal brand, where do I start? Where should I start in terms of looking for partnerships and partnerships with brands and influencers? I imagine that I would start with looking within my niche before branching off to other things, and also visiting your mission statement and your vision statement as well to see if other brands align with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's important to be quite selective in partnership because every relationship, it does take a certain amount of energy and time to maintain it well. So you don't want to have like way too many partners whilst you won't be able to keep up with them. So you want to be really strategic in who you're choosing. For someone who is an entry level or like earlier in their career it's probably best for them, like you said, to start in their industry.
Yeah.
Look at some brands, personal brands, as well as other brands who are at your level or slightly ahead of you. Those are the best ones to choose from. Because if you pick a brand that's too big or too well known, unlikely to get back to you on partnerships because you're not at that level to partner with them just yet. So, slowly we can start building relationships with different brands and then build up to bigger and bigger brands. Another thing I want to add about that is in terms of brands, I also encompass things like events. So events are actually, they also are got event brands. So for an event, maybe you can participate or volunteer to start out with, and then later on you can perhaps become a speaker or run workshops or add value in some other way to the events. And then being a partner with an event actually brings a lot of credibility as well if it's a good event.
Do you need more support with your personal branding? Kaitlin Zhang is a CEO of Oval Branding based in London, UK, and we provide personal branding services for a select number of private clients to help you reach your goals faster. Email us at info@ovalbranding.com for a consultation today. Okay, so do you mean like speaking opportunities? I've seen you do quite a few workshops and I've seen you speak at quite a few events. So do you mean like speaking at events and that kind of stuff? Or maybe sponsoring an event?
Yeah, I think so. If you are a speaker type, speaking certainly is a good opportunity to get your name out there. For example, in the beginning, I was just doing speaking at smaller community centers. If I can find a free event space, I'll try to use that in workspaces, co-working spaces.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, you move on to a little bit bigger and bigger venues that become like conferences. And then you speak at major brands. Like some of the things I did were like for major banks in the UK, doing workshops for them. So you just gradually build up. But it doesn't mean that you have to be a speaker. You can also be a volunteer, right? To start out with, get your name associated with a certain cause or certain event, like a marathon, that supports like cancer research, for example. Why not go be a volunteer? There's no bar to entry for that. You can just start doing that. But it starts associating you with certain things that you care about. You can also do sponsorships. Sponsorships are actually expensive for someone starting out, but maybe later on, as well as do an exhibit, like hire an exhibit hall. If you have products or services to showcase, you can do that. So there are other ways to partner up with brands, and even just emailing them and saying, hey, do you need an extra pair of hands?
Yeah.
Here's what I can do. That's always a good way to get to know them.
That's so true. So we've talked about why it's a good idea to partner with people and how we can go about doing this. But I have to touch on this point because we have to be realistic. It can't always be sunshine and rainbows. When do you think it's a good time to cut off a partnership and just decide that, you know what, this is not right for me, no more?
Yeah, I think the way to think about it is that there's a natural end to every partnership. Whether it's a good partnership, there's always going to be an end with that too. A bad partnership, it will also end. So just understanding it's a temporal thing and you're together for a certain amount of time, supporting each other and building a cause. If that's no longer your common goal, or if there are some issues, then I suggest to let go of the partnership as soon as you can. My philosophy is always to hire slowly and fire fast, which means to do a lot more research before you take a partner on board, or when you hire someone, you want to take a person on board. You want to do a lot more research, think a lot about it. And then when it doesn't work out, just let go of it much quicker than you think. Sometimes people do hold on for longer.
True.
It's really important that we share the same values with the brands that we partner up with, and also make sure that they still consistently display those values. That's why a lot of people have seen athletes lose sponsorship deals.
Partnerships from like brands.
Yeah, and partnerships because of their own values are distorted if they're seen with some misconduct. then they'll lose partnership deals really quickly.
That's so true.
So same way here, if it doesn't work, it's time you need to let them go.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to end partnerships if they're not working. Just be kind to each other, give the right notice if there's legal requirements to do that. And it's okay to move on. That's just a part of life.
Yeah, I think some people hold on no matter what, just because they're afraid of moving on and they feel a certain way about letting someone go. So, and I feel like if it ever comes to a point where it feels strenuous or you no longer enjoy what you're doing with this person, I'm a strong believer in avoiding working with people who don't align with your values, or sometimes just people you don't like. Like, why would you want to work with someone you don't like?
Yeah, if the chemistry is not right, just let it go. Yeah, there's loads of people who would be the right fit. It's kind of like dating, isn't it, in a bit? Yeah. So the main takeaways for today are, number 1, start building strategic partnerships by looking at other brands or people in your industry at a similar level or people who are slightly ahead. Number 2, invest in those relationships. Think long-term. Number 3, hold true to your values. And don't be afraid to end things if they're not working out well. The next actionable step is to identify 3 brands or influencers, like I said, it includes events, that you can work with, and think about the value you can add to their brands, and then maybe reach out to them. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was great.
This episode is produced by Oval Branding, a London-based award-winning branding agency that serves corporate clients and personal clients around the world. Visit ovalbranding.com to contact us about your next marketing project. I am Kaitlin Zhang. Thank you for listening.